We have taught you about enormous potential of generative AI and how can it make you better when it comes to programming. But as a responsible course creator, we also want to call out some shortcomings. It's not always hunky dory, and not everything is perfect with generative AI. It is just trained by human, and we can make mistakes. So our models can also. So let me just quickly point out few shortcomings which you will see when you start using generative AI more. So first thing is, though it can produce code, but it is not able to produce innovative solution. See, we have to understand these are the algorithms which are trained through past data. So whatever the kind of code they have seen, they can generate solution for this. But if you build a completely brand new problem which has no one has never seen, like for example, let's say you're working for an industry which is working on a cutting edge new technology which was not there. Think of like metaverse is very new. People don't know what is metaverse, what is happening there. Then we do, it means we don't have even enough data to train these models, and they cannot produce codes on this. So for these kind of novel problems, it lacks creativity, and you will be alone on your own. You have to think on your own. Similarly, if we think about some research kind of work, like COVID is a good example. There were never enough literature on COVID. So let's say if you are a statistician or some researcher who are modeling some DNA of COVID and you want generative AI help, they can't help you with this because they have not been exposed to this kind of data. Second is very complex logic. So all the problems which we have shown you is a very straightforward, simple problems, or like frequently has interview questions. But if you are working for a very large scale company which are having their own kind of challenges, right? For example, if you think about Facebook, uh, they are the pioneer in the field of they are the pioneer in the field of social network. So the kind of problem they would be having is very unique. Or if you think about hate detection on YouTube or Facebook or WhatsApp, nobody has solved these problems. So if you come with these kind of different complex logic, generative AI might not be able to help you. And that is where they have limitation. They can help you with bits and pieces, but end-to-end problem solving they can't do. So whenever it comes to complex logic, you will be on your own. Third thing is very similar to what I have explained earlier, limited scope of training data. So your model's output is very dependent on what kind of data they have been exposed to. For example, let's say if you are building a NLP model on some very unique language. Let's say we talk about a Maldivian language where are only 5 lakh people who speak that language. Maybe if you are building a chat support for them, there might not be even enough data. So you can't, your model is not trained enough for those kind of data. If we think about India, we have so many languages. If you go to a smaller state, a smaller tribe, they might be having their own languages where we don't even have enough data. So the kind of output which you can expect from the generative AI tool is going to be low quality or maybe no output at all. Similarly, debugging. So we have shown you how it can help you with debugging for standard problems, but sometimes there could be very nuanced logic, or let's say you are writing a module in a very big coding problem. If you are not able to provide an end-to-end understanding, generative AI might not be even able to help you with a debugging. And then last, human like understanding. See, we human can see, we can write, we can observe things, let's say if you have to write a code, you can talk to your product manager or a client, you understand what are the kind of things, whereas ChatGPT or any other generative AI tool doesn't have these human understanding. So they rely heavily on kind of input we provide. So we have to be very precise, very structured on these inputs. We have to simplify the problem in such a language that these generative AI tools can understand your nuance. Then they can provide you input, and maybe the input maybe the output which you have got is not of high quality, so you have to continuously keep on optimizing it. So long answer short, I'll say in summary, uh, these tools are really powerful. It has already made our life easier, and as soon as we adopt, we are going to be more effective in our work. But it is not like one stop shop for all your problems. So these are the tools created to augment our need, to augment our skill, but these are not going to be these are not going to replace a human coder. So my take on this scenario is, if you learn these tools and you basically use this in your day-to-day work, you will become more effective, more fast. But at the same time, it doesn't take away the need of learning coding. You still need to understand coding. You need to develop algorithm. They can actually just make you better. So I hope by the end of this course, you guys have a good understanding of what could be done through generative AI, what could not be done, how it can make you an effective user. And maybe after this course, you guys would be really enthusiastic to explore these tools and use it in your day-to-day work. So thanks a lot for watching this, and happy learning.